All right, so a week has been gone by that we've had the Rumble. And, you know, there's been a lot of hoopla around it as well, too. There's the whole, oh, Jey Uso won. Why would he win? Oh, my God. Why is it him? It doesn't, like, why there's other people? Charlotte won. Oh, my God. Why would she win? I swear. Why? Oh, my God. It's like, Cody should have lost the KO. That was not that much. But, you know, it got me thinking, because I was like, man, that was a really good Rumble. I was like, Jay won out of nowhere. I know the fan base is going to be divided on Charlotte about her winning and stuff like that. But I was trying to think, I'm like, man, why does this sound familiar? I was like, where there was like, it was something with endless possibilities, where it was like, where we didn't even include Jay. That's how what is so stacked. It was like, oh man, it could be Cena. I was like, it could be Roman Reigns. It could be CM Punk. I was like, it could be Drew McIntyre. I tried to do it. I couldn't get the energy. It could be Sami Zayn-ish. I was like, you know, some people was even talking about like it could have been Damian Priest. And I was like, no man, y'all would have booed just as much as it was Damian Priest. On the women's side, it's like, oh, they could have went with a Jordan Grace. They could have went with a Roxanne. It's like they could have went with Alexa Bliss. It's like there was other people other than Charlotte. And with the Cody KO thing, it wasn't really so much that we all sort of knew that Cody was going to win that one. But what about the possibilities of Kevin Owens getting it? Should he drop it? You know, I was like, he's the best choice for this with him and Sami Zayn. And I was just like, man, I was like, it was good, and normally we would be like, oh man, this is good. But it's like our own expectations, our own what could be possible was messing it up. And I was like, we do this a lot. And I was like, it made me think of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Okay, now, I was like, wait, hold on with me. So, in the expectation of this movie, just like the Rumble, we was like, oh man, could they go here? Could they bring in Ghost Rider? Could they bring in the Mr. Fantastic from, or the Human Torch from like these previous movies? I was like, oh man, do we get Hugh Jackman back at Wolverine here? I was like, do we get the old Daredevil? Do we go? I was like, what planet? I mean, what dimensions do we go to? Do we go over here and check out this universe? Oh, do Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man come back? We was getting all these things that we was like, oh man, all these possibilities. They're endless. It's actually so good that we have all these thoughts that we could get. Then you get to the movie, and you don't get any of those things. You get I was like, you sort of get new people sort of involved. You did get Professor X as Patrick Stewart as that one, even though he wasn't the one from the X-Men movies. But you did get him. And you did get other versions of people that may not have been exactly what you wanted, but it was like a little tad with like, you know, Mr. Fantastic in there. But after the movie hit theater, people were like, oh man, this movie sucked. It wasn't that good. I was like, I remember I had a friend that was like, oh, it wasn't a good movie at all. I was like, it was a good movie. I was like, if it wasn't great, no. Could they have done more? Sure. But it was a good movie. But people are like, oh no, blah, 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 blah. Whereas I think now that I think a lot of people have come a little bit more on board of like, okay, it was a good movie. I was sort of tripping a little bit too much with it. But the reason that movie really sort of did bad, I mean, as far as, I mean, other than Marvel sort of being, like, you know, during that time that they've been in of, like, movies, that everybody was, movies and shows, it was in that beginning part. It's really because I feel like our expectations got so high. We was over here waiting to see this, see this, see this, that you couldn't really, that you over here just waiting. Oh, it didn't happen. Waiting. Oh, it didn't happen. Waiting. Oh, it didn't happen. So with the Rumble, you're just like, oh man, Cena's in here. Roman Reigns in here. Seth is in here. Drew's in here. Okay, Drew's gone. Okay, that's fine. That's whatever. Yeah. I was like, yeah. Oh, Seth and Roman's gone. Okay, well, that's cool. I was like, oh, now CM Punk is gone. Okay, well, that's fine. I was like, okay, it's just Logan Paul here. Oh, I just Cena and it's just Jey Uso. Jey Uso won. And that should be like the, oh my God, I didn't know that was going to happen. Almost like how we sort of got in Multiverse Madness with, I was like, Jim Kaminsky? I was like, we're going to go with the dude from The Office and all the Jack Ryan movies being Mr. Fantastic. It was a pop. It was like, oh, ooh, just like the X-Men thing. Ooh. Because if you think about it, I was like, oh man, Patrick Stewart is John Cena, somebody from the old movies. And then I was like, Jim was basically Jey Uso from the, we was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. And for a lot of people, that was good enough. We was like, oh man, cool. Because the rest of the movie isn't about necessarily all that with that. But just like this one, too many options, too many expectations, that it actually sort of kills the whole thing in a way at the end of it that gets you hyped for it at the beginning. So I was just thinking that, I'm like, man, Jey Uso's really going through it on online, not in real life. So I was like, people geeking with that dude. But I was like, online, and I was like, you can hear him every time like when he does a promo, because he knows what he hears about being a tag team wrestler. I was like, they say you ain't got moves, Oos. I was like, they say you just a yeet, Oos. You know. Charlotte Flair, I was like, look, I'll give some of y'all a pass on it. I think y'all a little bit hard, but y'all crushed her coming back, thing. Like y'all didn't even give her a moment, kind of thing. Give her a moment to even speak on. She was going to turn it around anyway. Just give her a minute, let her be happy. But I was like, at that didn't necessarily bother me. Just like how I feel like in the Multiverse Madness, that it was kind of like, oh, cool. So Scarlet Witch just died. Okay. And for being defeated by nobody, really. Okay, cool. I was like, so I could understand. And it's like, it's not a necessarily satisfying ending. But I think that sometimes in life, too many options is sort of actually sometimes a deterrent to things at the same time. Anyway, I was like, that made me what think of, but just the fact of, that movie has so much things that could happen, and it didn't. Where it's like, the Rumble has so many things that could happen, but it didn't. And people are mad that it didn't happen, whereas it's just like, yeah, but did you actually just see the product itself? It was pretty good. What you complaining for? Anyway, let me know what you think about all this. I was like, am I a little bit off base? You got a different movie that sort of fits this kind of situation? Yeah. And I was like, because, hey, this is what we got to deal with anyway. So, let me know. Till then, peace. I'm out.